And that is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We should be simulcasting right now, both on Twitter and on YouTube as well, as we get set up, because these AI coins will 10x my Virtuals Protocol portfolio. You heard that correctly. I think we're okay here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see how this goes. We might have an issue here on the Twitter side, and we might have to run this back. See what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We should be simulcasting. We got a really awesome treat for y'all today, as I just make sure we're all set up here. Looks like we're good to go. Awesome stuff, guys. Really important thing here I want to share with you guys. This is alpha. We all know that how Genesis launchers are printing. That's not alpha anymore. There is a bigger picture that's about to happen in the Virtuals ecosystem that you know of or heard of, but you're not really looking deeper into. And I'm going to share that with you. And that's what's going to really 10x my portfolio at some point during this cycle. We're going to break this all down, guys, coming up in this edition. Francis Dhun Uncensored.
Francis Dhun Uncensored.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back at you once again from the studio, live and direct. And we keep bringing the alpha. Yesterday, we showed you guys that there's a new initiative coming out from the AI Rocket team, an OG project here in the Virtuals ecosystem that will be introducing their rocket fuel incubation platform that does not require any virgin points to get in. That was alpha. We're going to follow up on that today as well. I think they made an announcement about the project and what you could expect. Very exciting. But I want to share with you guys, my ultimate goal here. As I said, right, my goal was to take advantage of the Genesis launch, accumulate points, and, wait for the next banger, right? A big banger, and that was soulless. And a great job by that team, perfect launch. And yeah, they made a lot of noise, and for good reason. They performed really well. But on top of that, what I said was, thereafter, what I want to do is I want to take those gains and then 10x that. Originally, I wanted 1K into 100K if I got the max allo. That didn't happen. I got 200 virtuals, which is roughly 450, put that into 46K. So I'm going to put that 46K into these projects I'm going to share with you guys today and turn that into 460K. All right. As I said, the name of the game is to let that money work for you and scale it. All right, guys. This is where the alpha is at. If you do appreciate what we've been doing for y'all, well, give me a like. Subscribe, smash the bell notification buttons. If you're watching us on Twitter, please like this, retweet this, share this with everybody, because we're about to drop some crazy alpha here in my humbled opinion. So let's get on with the program, okay? Let's first look at the Genesis launches that, recently went live after Solus. Okay, so here we are, all right? We have this chat 4PT, okay? We have Verdant, and that's about it. To be honest, guys, I don't know who the heck's wasting their freaking virgin points on shit like this, but there's a reason why you're not winning, all right, if you're actually going to spend time on this, right? And I get it. Some guy told me, he was like, hey, well, it's a great plan. It's a great plan to then probably, try to get into these ones that aren't as hype and, hold on to that, get into another one, and multiply for more points. But, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Again, hey, if that's your strategy, maybe I don't understand it because I had my own and it kind of coincides with what I was doing. For me, it was I'm going to pick that one that I think is going to be a big banger and fire away as much points as I could accumulate leading up to that time, okay? I just feel like, with this sort of strategy, what he was trying to explain to me, you're forcing yourself to get into shit. That's what you're doing. You're forcing yourself to invest into garbage. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know, man. Chat 4PT, bro. So sorry, guys, but I'm not too fond of it, right? This one here, I don't know, bro. I didn't really look into them too much either, but don't think it performed all that, right? Under 2 million. So, it kind of underperformed. Let's be honest here. On average, these things are doing 5 mil, right? 5 mil is where you want to be. And obviously ones are doing much better than 5 million. So again, it was something that I didn't really want it to touch. Personally, this or that, even if I had points. Obviously, I'm in the cooldown, but notice I didn't speak of it. I didn't say much about what's happening. You guys were asking me. I said, I don't see anything worth your attention here. I don't want to waste your time because time is money and money is time, okay? However, in my brief research, and I didn't dive into the team and all of this and, if we're just taking things for face value that we're seeing right now upon the horizon, okay, we're going to be looking at, I mean, again, this is not no recommendation, right? First of all, this is not financial advice or none of that. But if we're just taking it for face value, what sounds interesting to me is this one here and this one here. I'm not saying, I like them or I'm bullish. All I'm saying is what they are written down here sounds interesting, okay? So let's just see what these guys are doing. Okay, so this is a decentralized multi-agent system for Web3 that autonomously manages DeFi workflows, research, and optimization within the, what's that? Acronis ecosystem. Shell serves as a conversational interface powered by Acronis, subagents, and MCP's technology, also leveraged in autonomous robotics, okay? So they have the right words, right? Like multi-agent, right? That's the right buzzword there. Autonomous buzzword there, right? I don't know what this stands for, but yeah. Backed by NVIDIA Inception. Yo, don't even lie right now. I didn't even read that when I was preparing this live stream. Graph is our LangChain-based framework for building modular, scalable agents backed by NVIDIA Inception, Google startups, Arbitrum, and partners like Compass Labs. Never heard of them. Allura. Okay, so if this is accurate, obviously that's bullish. Okay, I don't know. I mean, again, I didn't really deep dive into all of these things, double checking credentials, but they're saying the right things. So maybe it's something you want to look into this in terms of the legitimacy and see if they're legit. All right, guys, and here are, everything there, for you, the team, the project details, and what have you. Okay, you guys are asking me, what do I see upcoming, and that's why I'm showing you this right now. Okie dokie, and let's go back to the other one, which was right here. Okay, these guys right here. They got the 30-day lock as well. These guys got 90-day lock. All right. So what are they about? Let's check them out. Okay. At least the summary here. So Sia.ai is the most human-feeling AI agent platform where emotional value drives user stickiness. Okay. So platform means this is most likely infrastructure. That's why I like it. Infrastructure. When I say I like it, I like what they're telling me here, but here, what else they tell us? With zero ad spend, we've grown to 500K users, 1,500 paid subscribers at $60 a month, and 1 million ARR, all organically. We're on track to 10x that to 10 million ARR by year end, powered by Sia token. Creators can build, train, and monetize, okay? So, I mean, anytime you're talking about you already got users, then you got people who are paying subscription, that's valuable for any investor, right? That's what I'm looking at here based off of these texts. Anybody could put a picture, anybody could put a description. Who knows if this is legit? But if it is, it's definitely something I would be interested in, to dive deeper into it and see if it's something I want to pledge to. Okay, so those are the two where, guide the horse to the water, but you got to drink it, but do your own research, so to speak, because I don't know if they're legit or not, but I like the sound of it. Okay, that's the first thing. If you pique my interest, then I'll spend more time researching you to see if you're legit. All right, guys? So those are the ones I would say you go check out, and I mean, there wasn't really much else, to be honest, bro. Like, everything else is just, again, like, I don't know, man. If your game plan is to get into these little smaller ones that aren't as hyped, go ahead, do that. That's just not the strategy that I'm going to incorporate or implement. Okay, guys? What else we got for y'all? Again, as I said, so for the people who didn't see yesterday's stream, I was top 10. I pledged for Solus. I got 200 units of virtuals. And then your boy, right here, as you can see, over 23,000. I got 20,000 plus, okay? So we did the 100x on that. And the goal now is to, how do I make those gains have babies? How is that profit's going to now give me babies? All right, I always want to get a drip, or I want to, exponentially grow my portfolio, okay? Here's the meta. Why I said 10x your portfolio, okay? It's not from the Genesis launches, and I'm talking about more long-term. You want to make some money from the Genesis launches, and then that money you want to grow into more money. And I believe, guys, this is the bigger picture here. Every generation has their boom. In the 80s, there was an oil boom. or prior to that, oil boom, commodities boom. After that, we had this importing, exporting boom was happening worldwide, global trade. After that, I believe it was a dot-com boom in the 2000s, early 2000s. After that, I guess you could argue it was the Bitcoin boom thereafter, in the 2010s, so to speak, right? And then, a lot of people missed on that. And then I guess right now, it's the AI boom. And whenever there's a boom, there's dumb money floating around. And there's transactions. And people want to get the next best thing, right? So I think if this is the AI boom, how are you going to get a slice of that pie or your market share? Well, you want to probably look into these AI coins, right? And I'm not necessarily only talking about within the virtuals ecosystem, but we'll do that for now, because that's where the core of it's going to be for me, at least. Okay, I think virtuals are the most serious ecosystem in terms of what they're trying to build here. And you guys probably already heard of this. And this is the ACP, Agentic Commerce Protocol. All right. And they give us some insights to this over here. This is one of the team members, Dhun. Okay, virtuals team members. Again, I'm getting to a bigger picture. Just hear me out. Good morning, builders. Let's get real. Today, I'm stuck scrolling through crypto Twitter. Autonomous hedge fund and trading DAO. The Bridgewater of the future. Why is this a massive opportunity? Okay, they go on to tell us, I'm not going to read all this for you, but they go on to tell us that how there are clusters here and different categories and sectors that represent a service. Now, this service here is essentially only going to be run by AI agents or AI companions within the virtuals ecosystem. And the first example they share with us is Meet the AI Dream Team, AIXVC. Okay, the private banker of trade executor assesses your risk profile. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. AIXBT, Velvet Unicorn, Gen NC, I forget what, Trust Me Bros, Swarm, and Athena. Okay, so all of these agents here are going to be a part of this. Okay, this part here, the whole investment side of things. Okay, and they go down lower to tell us, I believe it's in this article here or the next slide, Meet the Dream Team, Luna, Alpha Keek. Who the heck is that? I don't even know who that is. Okay, Music, Steven Spielberg, like Spielberg AI, and Piper X are going to run this sort of like media, cluster, so to speak, right? Is what they're telling us over here. So the autonomous media house. And when these announcements first came out, I was like, yeah, bro, I got to get me some of mine ACP agents who are going to be in charge of their respected discipline. And this is why I was bullish on Axelrod when I saw ACP next to him. And I told my guys, I was like, look, we need to really look out for this. And this was well before Genesis Launches was introduced, right? When I first heard about the ACP, I was like, there's going to be new agents coming to market that has a pivotal role within this, that's actionable, that they could think on their own, and they're not waiting for you to tell them things all the time, right? Like you ask AI XBT. I think that's the next evolution of these AI agents, right? I think we went from like having them on Twitter, and it was cool seeing them fucking spam our comment section. Well, it wasn't cool, but they were spamming our comment section, and it showed us what is possible with these agents in an autonomous machine learning manner. This is to a whole new level. This is a real commerce, like, collaboration here, So it's like an economic sort of like platform that's only run by agents, and that's going to be valuable, okay? So your job, if you're in crypto, right, as I said, I'm not going to get into what I said yesterday, but your job, if you're in crypto, because it's the money game, okay, as I said, we all have an objective scoreboard. And if we're correct in our assessment and we anticipate what's going to happen next, you'll either be rewarded if you're right, or if you're wrong, you're going to have a L on that scoreboard. Okay, it ain't going to look good. All right, so this is why it matters. And we want to get this right. More insights to this right here. Everything Empty, that is the co-founder of Virtuals. And he says, Virtuals has two key products, Launchpad and ACP. Do you see that? This is on May 22nd. Like, this is what they're focused on, the Launchpad and ACP. And I don't think there's much focus from, investors and community members right now on the ACP, and that should change. And you should try to find out who's going to be in what cluster. For example, Solus is going to be in the wellness cluster. What other clusters exist that you are unaware of that is going to be run by that agent? This is what you need to seek out now. All right? On Launchpad, I often think of it's a permissionless and infinitely scalable form of Allen City DAO, whatever that is. And Y Combinator. Okay, yeah, those are popular, I guess, platforms that does similar things with launching projects, I guess. With all versions as infinite clones of blah, 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 blah. Right? So the point is this, right? So we, yes, we don't have Pump Fund Moonshot level of product yet, but we will soon. And these agents will be ACP, which is our form of Stripe Swift for agents. Isn't that wild? Okay? Payment processors, that's their version of it. All autonomous, all automated, all streamlined with AI agents working, pretty much replacing that tech. Okay, that's their version of it. So this right here, coming from, Top Dog himself, Launchpad ACP, this is what they're focused on. This is what they're focused on, guys, okay? Shit, what happened here? Now I'm probably going to lose this. Yeah, okay, here it is. Right, yeah. Okay, so ACP progress update, April 14th, there's some time ago. The autonomous hedge fund is no longer just theory, it's becoming real. We know we've been relatively silent on progress, but that's just because this cluster is twice the size of the autonomous media house, okay? And again, I want to read this all for you, but they show us this sort of like picture on how this workflow should look like, etc., etc. AI XVC, GigaBrain. I told my guys about GigaBrain from time. I was led to believe a long time ago that he was going to play a big part of this cluster, this investment cluster, and it looks like GigaBrain is communicating with AI XVC or Axelrod. As we go down here, they tell us about, autonomous hedge fund. Okay, that's their cluster. Market scouts, yield farmers, insights confirmers, strategy optimizers, trade executors. What AI agent is responsible for this in these clusters? That's what you got to find out and seek out, okay? Before the majority of the people does or do. Okay, so from signal to capital deployment across a modular stack, it goes on. And okay, right here. Look at this. They're giving us the answers to our questions. Did we mention we have a new participant in our cluster? Let's give a shout out to GigaBrain. Who remembers GigaBrain? I do. When they launched it, I think it was on December of last year, for braving through tall hoops over the past month, etc., etc. So I think you get the pointer. It's crystal clear by now that they're building up to something much bigger, in my opinion, than just the Genesis launch. And right now, the majority of people are only looking at the Genesis launch, and for good reason. That's where the gains are right now. And launch pads are a thing that always prints money. When I say always prints money, I shouldn't say always, but in a bull run, that's where the most money is made, right? At least in my experience. So I think the ACP is the bigger picture, and you really need to, find those agents that's responsible for their respected disciplines. And there's going to be a lot of different clusters and or sectors, and you really need to scour, and, here you go. What you need to do is go to the AI agents, sentient agent section, and really see what is going on here. Luna is going to be huge, right? The media powerhouse. She's going to probably be leading that cluster. Not probably, she is, right? And, when I bring that up over here, if I may, this is the virtuals ecosystem in CoinGecko. And let's go back to Luna since we're talking about Luna, which is, by the way, Luna is their flagship AI. I think they're not going to just watch her die out. And if you're like me and you believe that, Bitcoin is going to go close to like 180K, maybe 200K, maybe more, maybe a bit less, but I believe it's going to cross 150, right, at some point this year. And everything else is going to follow suit with it. What we saw in Q4, Q1, or not even Q1, but Q4, wasn't the end-all, be-all of this cycle. If that's what you believe, and you should go off of your own research and not anybody you see online. Yes, it's great to get other people's opinions, but you need your own strategy, right? If it makes sense to you, go for it. But, if we believe everything is going to go up, and I think AI is going to be at the forefront of this bull run. That's going to be the meta. That's what's going to benefit the most. Then I want to look at these ones that has significantly fell from their previous all-time high. And if we look at Luna's is trading at what? 24 million. And if my goal is to 10x my 46,000 or whatever it is, it kind of went down a bit because virtuals went down. I should actually put that into stable coin, but it is what it is. I believe virtuals will go up at some point. Might go down before it goes up, but look at this. The all-time high was 229 million. Okay, right now it's 24 million. Now, if we're led to believe that, that's like about 9x or something, right? If my math, right? So what was it again? 29, yeah, about 29 million. Let me just do this. Shit. 29. Okay, divided by, what's it now? 24? Oh shit, that's million. Sorry, that's 20. What's the high? That was 290 million, wasn't it? 229 million. Sorry. Okay, it's at 24 million. Yeah, about a 9.5x from its previous all-time high. Okay, so is it going to be where, as the markets recover, these type of coins that I'm looking into, that's going to have a real utility, that's going to be autonomous, that's going to be a part of the ACP, this whole economy that's run by agents alone, that's valuable, guys, right? It's down 10x from the all-time high. Could it reach back to the all-time high when things get really bullish? I'm led to believe so, yeah. Of course. I mean, I can't say of course, but I'm confident, at least, and I'm willing to put my money where my big mouth is. Right? So these are the plays I'm looking at to 10x my AI portfolio, specifically within the virtuals ecosystem, because I know there's like independent parties out there that are trying to do much bigger things with when it comes to infrastructure wise in the AI sector, but I ain't really seeing much progress or seriousness from other camps other than virtuals. And don't get me wrong, I would say that how 70% of this portfolio, this basket of different AI coins, that I intend to 10x or whatever, will be virtuals. And then the remainder of 30% or whatever that is left over will be outside of the virtuals ecosystem. Okay? Maybe not even AI stuff. Maybe a mix of some other shit, whatever, some new trend comes. Okay? Yeah, one more thing I want to show you guys here. The price of virtuals. So yeah, it was around, I think, $2.24. Bitcoin went to like 104K, 103K, something like that. And obviously virtuals went down. But if you really understand the goal of the virtuals team, in my opinion, they have one thing in mind and one thing only. And that's to pump the shit out of virtuals. Like their native token. That's what they want to do. That's why they're tying in all of this utility. That's why they're telling you to lock up virtuals for 2 years. Then you'll get more points, or, you know, they added that feature. You know, obviously you need virtuals to get into these Genesis launches. The demand is there. Their goal is to pump it, because they actually care about their investors, and they're pre-sale investors for virtuals. I know they want to make them happy. So I'm okay for now holding into virtuals, okay? Because I think it's going to go up a bit higher, right? That's what I think. Doesn't mean that I'm right, but I like to live and die by the gun, you know, by my own research. All right, guys, so that's what we got going on there. What else do we have happening? And before we do that, shit, I hope everything's working okay. Yeah, okay, we're good here. Sorry, I'll come to the chat. Make sure my mic is working. I didn't even check that. Okay. So we have Travis in the house. We have Annie. We have Playtipus. Buzz is here. He asks, would there be a penalty for selling tokens gotten through the Rocket Fuel pre-sale? Very good question. I'm not too sure about it. Like, I read the article. I didn't think they mentioned anything about that. But maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I don't think so. Again, it wasn't specified in the article. I'm sure they'll come up with a more detailed article at some point. So we'll wait for that. So, okay, AI Rocket has a lot to prove to me. Still, they have only been talking and not showing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, let's be real here. They didn't come to market as yet. One thing is for sure, they are legitimate, right? They are known, right? They launched before, and they were well known in the past. And they were supposed to do this, and I think here they are. They're about to do it. So let's kick back and let's see, you know. I always give people a chance, especially if they're going to try to follow up on what they said they were going to do. So this is their turn. I think the ball's in their court, because the product just makes sense across the board. Again, we could kind of like repeat what I said yesterday. It really solves two issues. Number one, it's for the smaller guy who can't accumulate all these virgin points, and they want to get into these Genesis launches at the earlier stages. Well, I think this is going to bode well for them, and also for projects who are serious of building, but they're having second doubts of coming to virtuals because they ain't getting much funding for it. Now they could get a little funding over here. That's going to, you know, give them some more momentum here and runway, right? So I think it makes sense from that perspective, right? But again, it's like, they got to prove themselves, sure, but I mean, to do a staking platform, it's not hard, right? And the tier system, it's nothing hard, so I'm pretty sure they'll follow through with that. Yeah? Okay, let me see what you guys are saying on Twitter. Do retweet this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate it. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit off today. A little bit tired and cloudy-headed. Anyhow, okie dokie. So here we are. AI Rocket. Yeah, this was their tweet, right? Okay. So, first rocket fuel project will be revealed next week, founded by Tier 1 tech builders. Their previous venture was acquired by Animoca Brands. These guys have proven they not only know how to build, but they have the skill sets to ship even faster than before. Stake 150 rocket to gain access to their upcoming pre-sale. And here is the staking link. So it looks like they're unveiling themselves really, and they're getting closer and closer with these tweets on what the project is about. Their first rocket fuel project, so to speak. They did have one prior. It was that GPT Wars one, but that wasn't part of the rocket fuel initiative. Okay, so this is officially the first one, and that's bullish. Again, as I said, what people like is a docs team, and if you're going to get funding, you need an MVP. You have to have an MVP, right? I don't think you're going to get funding that easily, and I don't know how much the raise is going to be. I would expect it's going to be like very nominal. When I say nominal, nothing too small, nothing too big at all. So yeah, very exciting to see what they're going to be coming up with over there. And this is what I mentioned over here. So this is the summary of it. Fully docs team, MVP ready. Previous company was acquired by Animoca Brands. Key benefits of staking rocket: no virgin points required. Huge to access these launches. Keep in mind, you will have a more expensive price than Genesis participants, though, obviously. Number 2, rocket stakers will get slightly higher price than Genesis launch participants, but lower than the snipers or the first buyers. So you, if you're staking AI rocket, you will be essentially like the first buyer, pretty much, right? Pre-market, so to speak. Staking rocket also gives you virgin points, right? So now you're getting into these Genesis launches at a decent early price, okay, and also getting virgin points. All right, the initiative solves 2 problems. Real builders get the funding they need to succeed. The little guy who struggles with virgin points can still get into these Genesis launches, right? Blah, 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 blah. Pretty deaf. Dude, what the heck, bro? This is wild. So this right here, this shit's at 6 mil. Fucking hell. I think when we spoke about this and the article came out, it was at 1.6 million. Okay? And from there, I think we went live. The news came out, people were buying it. And then, I don't know, what did it go to again? It went to like 4-something million, I think. Something like that, 4 million, I think. And here it is right now at 6 million, guys. So what does this mean? This means the market is agreeing with this. This means people are digging this initiative. This means that how they seem to be solving a problem here, guys. Okay? They really are. Now, I would argue, you could probably argue, is this a PMF? A perfect market fit? It kind of falls in place there, to be honest. It's solving a lot of things right now. And as I said, no system is perfect. Do keep in mind, with this, there will be vesting as well, right? For pre-salers, right? I don't think it'll be nothing too crazy. The standard of what we see here in the Genesis launch is like, I don't know, what is it? A 1 month vesting or 1 month cliff or something like that. And then vesting whatever is unique to that project and how they make it. But, those are some cons. But, okay, well, if you don't like that, well, then go get some points, virgin points, right? So it's great to have options at the end of the day. It's great to have options at the end of the day for sure, guys. Okay, so please let me know what you guys think about that. We're talking about 10xing your damn portfolio. You need to really focus in on ACP. Who is going to be in charge of what cluster, what sector? That should be your main priority looking for the future, right? Looking forward. The name of the game is to anticipate what happens next. When everyone's sleeping, like when I was talking about these Genesis launches, everyone's like, yeah, this guy's talking shit. Nothing's doing 20x. Nothing's doing 50x. Nothing's doing 100x. Now they're like, yo, bro, bell notifications are on. You were right. So right now, they're on to that. Okay, that's cool. But we're on to the ACP. I want to get them bags now while they're so cheap from when they were, in Q4 of last year. I want to get some Luna. I want to get some AIXPT. I will definitely be getting more Axelrod. You know what I'm saying? I think the cluster that, will have a lot of more attention than most is going to be these ones of speculation. So that hedge fund manager thingy, majigum, whatever they're calling it, autonomous hedge fund manager cluster that's run by Axelrod, AIXPT, Velvet Unicorn, and others. I think that will have the most action. Okay, so I think I'll make that video will be long. That'll be close to like 45 minutes, an hour. I'll make an upload a video on that. I might even add another 50K to it and put 100K across the board and try to make it into a million 10x. Because, I mean, 45K into 450K, who cares, right? That doesn't sound as nice as, 100K into a million. We would see. But that is the goal. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat. You can send a CA or a link. Okay, yeah. I could send you a link indeed. Right now. There's a lot of new people, bro. A lot of new people. Who asked for that? That was Walker Johnny, dude. I actually had a drink of Johnny Walker Blue last night. I just felt like having one. It was literally one drink. Felt good. Okay. What we got here? So there's your link if you want to get... Well, sorry, that's my link. Like, again, I don't care if you use it. You ask for the link. There's my link. I want to let you guys... Let that be known to get into virtuals. If you already have an account, you could just use the last 6 digits or characters of the code, and then you could also manually add that. That's a link for virtuals. What link are you asking for exactly? Okay. Heirs to the Grand Francis isn't the No-He projects. Yeah, if you win 1 runner and lose 10, exactly, right? So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Crypto is not like soccer. Crypto is not like fucking... It's not a sports game, right? It's not, whoever, scores the first 3 goals wins or whatever the heck, or, you know what I mean? At the end of the timer, 2-1 I win. It's not that game. It's not 1 for 1. It's a multiplier game. It's a percentage game. Okay? So like what Buddy says... If you lose on 4 and you win on that 1, it covers up all your losses and then makes you all of that capital you had already, right? Okay, well, let's do this right now. So, like what happened to me yesterday, or 2 days ago, the 100x play. Let's just say I invest into 10 projects, right? I had $10,000, I put 1,000 each into those 10 projects, okay? 9 of them rugged, whatever, or they didn't do well, you know what I mean? But that one, like 2 days ago, did 100x. I'm up quite a bit, right? I'm up like 90K still. So that's the name of the game. So when people are like, oh yeah, what about this pick? Like, oh, this guy made a play, but the last one was wrong. It's not about 2-1 I win. It's not that. It's not soccer. Whoever has the most goals wins. No, bro. It's the multiplier. And to know that you will lose on some. And that is part of it until you make that big banger. Right? That is it. Like, Michael Jordan doesn't hit every single 3-pointer. Warren Buffett does not get into all positive investments, and they know that's going to happen, but they maintain a high percentage. That's the name of this game, and that's what a lot of people miss out, like they miss the mark on. They don't understand what this game is. This game is about money management, emotional management as well, like control your emotions, and the ability to see what's going to happen next. Master those 3 things, and stop fucking yapping, stop fucking louding, stop getting into snapping, all of that dumb shit that's straying you away, sidetracking your ass from what really matters of making money. Like, guys, the people who actually make money in crypto, bro, like the real fucking OGs who got mad money, you think they're on fucking, like, on camera? You think they're trying to get fucking followers on Twitter? They're fucking living their life, bro. They ain't doing this dumb shit, Hey, if you're in thirst for fame, then go ahead. But, I mean, I don't know, bro. For me, it's all about just streamlining my lifestyle where I don't gotta worry about nothing. You know what I mean? I want to be comfortable and free. Okay? Anyhow. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So, Walker Johnny, I think you're set up over there, right? So, what we got here. How do we find the CA for a live AI agent token? Okay, cool. Let me show you guys this. Okay. So, you're at Virtuals. Use a link in the live chat to get here. And if you want the CA, there's different sections, right? So right here you have Genesis launches, okay, which is these guys here. Sentient agents means agents that are established agents or ones that have already succeeded or graduated. Okay, or let's just say succeeded. Meaning they had enough of virtuals invested into them where they got bonded or migrated over to Uniswap, okay? So for example, in Genesis launches, if you go under ended, these all are now sentient agents. You should find them over here. And also in this section, you're going to find a lot of the old school agents like AI Rocket, Game, well, not an agent, infrastructure, Vader, big shout out to Vader, man them like Vader, and all these other ones here. So your question was the CA. You can find the CA right here, okay, in the sentient agent section. You could search for it here, the ticker, but be very careful because there could be 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, and you want to know which one is the right one. But you could double check that too with the market cap. You should know. But nonetheless, the C is here. Or you could click this, and you could get the CA. Love Solus. You could get the CA over here too as well. All right, and that's how that would work. I hope I was able to answer your question, brother. What's up, Sandy? Thank you for joining. I'm just gonna go over to the Twitter chat to see what's up. Yo, Rector. Remember that name. I remember your name. Oh, by the way, the giveaway, the winners for the giveaway, we have sent your funds. You know, I like to pay off my debt. I like to pay it off fast. And you guys should have your funds in your wallet, okay? So I see Jasmine over here. Pips also won. And a couple others. Web3 King and others. Okie dokie. Francis Sailor for real. My open serve journey? What do you think? Did you check out open? No, I have not. I have not. Like, for me personally, what I would say is, like, I don't know, man. It's just the way I work. I need to, like, if I want to do good at something, I gotta just focus on that one thing. You know what I mean? So, right now, it's just the virtuals ecosystem. They've done a really, sorry, good job of this game theory, creating this system where you have to think. You know what I mean? It makes you think really hard and strategize, and I love that. So I appreciate their workmanship and building this nice system. And I gotta give credit to Vader too, because, you know, if you guys saw my wallet over here, who shows their wallet, bro? But if you guys see my wallet over here, it's actually named Vader IDO, right? Why? Well, that's because I was getting into Vader's EAOs before the Genesis launch during the mini bear market we saw with AI coins in January and February. That's what I was doing. So I got to give a lot of credit to him. I think, I don't know if they came together and they made this happen, or Virtual saw what he was doing, they incorporated their own, but I'm pretty sure they got inspiration from Vader, that's for sure. And then they added on top of that, like, their own different ideas and whatnot. So for the people now joining, we are talking about how can you 10x your portfolio, okay? And we're talking a little bit more long-term here. If you want short-term gains, then Genesis Launches is the place for you, okay? We're talking about the ACP, okay, where Dhun, a Virtuals team member, okay, spoke about multiple times, okay, right here. And others. I mean, this is not secret hidden knowledge, right? This is basic knowledge, right? We want to find the AI agents that are going to be responsible for their jobs, okay, for their categories, like an investment category, a wellness category, a media category, etc. And we want to get them now, because right now everything is pretty damn cheap from where it once was. And we give Luna as an example. And if my goal is to 10x my portfolio, or 10x 46k into 460k, or whatever your capital may be, I think this is an area you may want to look into, because the moment they come out saying, yo, the ACP is live, here is your clusters and the respected agents in charge of it, what is going to happen? Like the saying goes, if you heard the announcement when the announcement was made, chances are your ass is too late. So this goes back to those 3 skills you need to develop, okay? Spotting the next trend before it actually occurs, okay? That's one of the 3. That's what you guys really need to focus on. Okay, let me go back to YouTube. And we do have a super chat. Appreciate your content. Anyone can learn, says that. Thank you so much for your super chat. And I really appreciate your comment. That you appreciate my content. What do you think about Kita Network? I don't know, bro. Never heard of it up until now. You know, again, as I said, I'm full-blown into one thing, and that's where I do best. So, don't get me wrong, bro. When things really pick up, we'll be looking in other areas. But right now, I want to maximize my opportunities here in the Virtuals ecosystem, and I'm sharing with you guys in real time exactly what I got planned for all of that. Okay, we can take a couple more questions over here. How to connect Bro, why has everybody asked me this? How to connect Uniswap MetaMask to Virtuals, bro. Like, bro. Guys, come on. Simple. Like, look, my wallet is connected. Okay? You just got like right here. You'll have a connect button. I think it's over here. See this? Press the connect button, and then you sync in your wallet. Then you sign it off, and then you're connected, brother. That's it. Then you got a back office. You could come in and check all your other stuff or whatever. Just surf around. You know what I mean? Look, I think I'm going to have to make a newbie video on how to invest into Virtual's ecosystem AI agents, because a lot of people are asking me a lot of basic questions, and it's very tiresome when you have to repeat it over and over. So let me make a dedicated video for you guys for sure. Jasmine, what's next after Rocket? I don't know. Like, guys, I wasn't even saying go buy Rocket or stake it. I was just, well, I did say that this morning, to be fair, in a tweet. I said it's time to stake Rocket. I think I made a typo, or I said the same line twice. As you guys know, I'm more of a video kind of guy. But anyways, I don't know. Let's take it day by day, man. You know, we're not really kind of like chasing it down over here. I think that's when you get into mistakes. But bro, what the fuck, bro? This is wild, bro. This is wild. Look, if AI Rocket delivers on this, man, I think they got something big going on here, man. They got something big happening here, and everybody's agreeing. Yeah, so back to the question there in the live chat. I think we need to just take it day by day and see what happens. Let the gains come to you. You don't go to the gains, meaning you don't chase it. You know, you gotta let it come to you, man. So we'll see. There's always an opportunity in crypto, right? There's always something happening right around the corner. Could you pick that up? Could you catch on to it? That's the only thing. That's why people don't see it, because they don't catch on to it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Newbie video. Thank you for that. No problem. By the way, Lou, how long have you been following the channel for? So AI Rocket is the one. The 1 to 10x is it's a basket of different assets, as we explained. If you're now joining, highly recommend you rewind this live stream and check it out, or watch the replay. We're talking about the ACP, Agentic Commerce Protocol, that's going to involve dozens of AI agents. And let's just think of it like a company. And in a company, you have different departments. Accounting, you may have human resources, you got the manager, whatever. Well, yeah. But in here, there's different categories and sectors and departments. And each department has a leader and then workers under them. Think of it like that, like a company style. You want to invest into, at least I'm not saying this is what you want to do, but I want to invest into the leader, the manager. Okay? I want to find that person out. I want to get him now when it's all like, you know, crickets. Everything's crickets right now. Everyone's sleeping right now. It's quiet. You know? When the market's sleeping, bro, you got to be active. You know what I'm saying? You got to look where people aren't looking. And right now, they ain't looking here. They may be talking about it here and there, but they ain't really, they don't have a call to action. They're not executing. Right? So this is where you want to stand out, bro. That's how trendsetters do it, you know? What is? Bro, don't even get me started with ordinals right now, bro. Don't get me started with ordinals. I was there literally before ordinals was a thing. But anyways, I want to get into that now. So Very says, since the ACP is too bullish concept. Yeah, it is pretty bullish in my opinion. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you guys each and every time. Let me just go to Twitter first here before I sign off. What sort of alpha can you drop for maximizing virgin points, especially for people with 5K? 5K is not bad capital, to be honest, bro. I would say, man, look, the yapping system, in my opinion, is very fair. Doesn't matter about how much followers you have, right? I think it really comes down to if you're actually providing quality content. And Twitter's algorithm actually rewards, I would say it rewards smaller accounts better than YouTube's algorithm. You know what I mean? I see small accounts getting a large engagements. And that's pretty much a low-risk way for you to get virgin points, right? Okay, that's not alpha. You got 5K. You want to put that to work to get virgin points. We'll get to that. There's also now the referral side of things where I believe you get virgin points as well. If you go to your daily distribution, click the down arrow, you'll see the different areas where you're supposed to get points. One now is referral. So you can just spread the word, right? So you got those two. Now, if you're talking about the 5K, look, it's probably not the best. I would say this. Look, I don't have the best luck with daily active bonus other than my last day before I got into the cooldown, where you could volume trade. You're not trading for gains. Volume trades means, hey, look, obviously Virtuals makes money off of that too, right? So trading fees and whatnot. So that's a value proposition for them that they then reward you for. So what you need to do is stake something, some of these agents. I would say the Genesis launches partnered agents that's partnered with virtual, so like Robot, like Solis, Axelrod, and others, okay, particularly them. Stake those and then volume trade. So you just buy something, you sell it, buy something, just sell it. You will lose money on that though. Keep that in mind because, you know, there are fees involved. So you might go down by like 4.5%, 5%, something like that. But that's how you get points as well. Okay, some guys are really good at it. I don't know. I did have success using, what's his name? Web3 guy. Darren Web3, I believe. No, that's 100x Darren. Sorry, I suck with names, bro. But I did post it. Scroll down, you'll see it. Right? Lastly, I gotta tell you, you might want to look into Vader staking. Vader staking gives me the most yield. Yes, so I got a shit ton of Vader staking, which I was staking a long time ago when Vader was at like 14 million market cap 15. I got like 1.5 million plus tokens of Vader staking there. But forget my size. It's still giving me the most Virgin Points yield out of everything else. I don't think with that capital, it's worth it for you to probably stake virtuals. It has got diluted a lot. However, there is benefits there too that could probably help you scale your Virgin Points on a daily basis. Meaning that virtuals does give airdrops to stakers if they decide to partner with a Genesis launch. What I would do is I would take that free bag and then stake that. You know what I mean? But in order to get that free bag, you need to stake virtuals. So it's up to you on what you want to do there, but that's probably the best way to do it through those means. Yeah, Web3 Dev. Yeah, I was going to say Web3 Daryl, but that's the 100x Darren, which is his partner. Sorry about that, but I do suck with names. Okay? All right, guys, I think we covered everything here. That's how I plan to 10x my 46k. Maybe add another 50k on top of that, make it 100k in total. Let's go for the 1 mil while we add it, because bull runs only come every once in a while. Normally every 4 years, like a leap year calendar, if you will. Know what I'm saying? So we can't waste the time when that time comes, right? Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Hope you appreciate the content. I hope you found some value. And until the next one, your ass is on your own, bro. Later.